Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching another super exciting chess game. This one was played between Levon Aronian and Gukesh. The game was played in Zagreb, Croatia as a part of a Grand Chess Tour Super United Croatia Rapid Blitz. Now what makes this game so exciting is that Levon Aronian decided to surprise his opponent Gukesh and he sacrificed his queen very early in the game, and the game was pretty tense until the very end. So without further ado, truly exciting game is on our hands and we will go straight into it. Levon opened the game with e4, we have e5 for Gukesh, knight to f3, knight to c6, and after bishop c4, bishop c5 and d3 for Levon, we are in gioco pianissimo, quiet Italian game. The game continued with knight to f6, we have h3 for white to stop this bishop g5 pin, and after d6 white decided to play a4. Not so frequently played in these positions, usually bishop g5 or knight to c3 are the most played moves. Levon goes for a4, we have a6 for black, and right now we have c3 on the board, slowly preparing for d4 push. Black now castles, white develops with knight b to d2, and the usual route for this knight is knight to f1 and knight to g3, of course after castling and going rook to e1. Black goes rook to e8, and right now in this position white either usually castles or goes for b4, but right now Levon sets a small trap and actually small surprise for black, and he plays knight to f1, deliberately leaving this king in the center of the board. Right now Gukesh finds the best move, because when the opponent's king is in the center you always want to open up the position, and he finds this amazing move which is d5. E takes on d5, and right now we have e4, pressuring this knight and also getting ready to pick up this pawn with a check, open check from this rook of course. We have d takes on e4, knight picks up on e4, and right now bishop to e3 was played for white in order to stop this open and discovered attack on this king. We have knight to e5, right now attacking this knight and also attacking this bishop. We have knight takes on e5, rook takes on e5, and right now queen to e2, a very strange move by Levon Aronian. In this position, after rook takes on e5, one of the best moves was to either play queen to f3 or trying to play something else, develop this knight, but this was definitely not the move. Queen to e2, deliberately putting your queen on this nasty pin potential. We have knight to d6, so right now this bishop is immediately pinned and you cannot take this bishop, but this is what Levon Aronian counted on, and on the move 14 he decided to sacrifice his queen with bishop takes on c5. Rook takes on e2 with a check, bishop takes on e2, and right now Gukesh continues with knight to e4, developing move, also attacking this bishop. We have bishop retreating to e3, and right now bishop takes on f5 was played. Now, just wanted to show you, you probably noticed that this pawn was free, but indeed if Gukesh took this, then after rook to d1 you would be forced to sacrifice your queen, because after you move your queen somewhere, rook d8, and this is a checkmate. So this pawn was toxic pawn. That's why black continues with bishop to f5, we have rook to d1 trying to protect this pawn, queen to d7 right now eyeing at this pawn, but Levon for now doesn't want to defend it and he plays a bishop to d4, putting this bishop on a much better square here, also aiming at this g7 square. Game continues with queen picking up on e4, and right now we have developing move, attacking this bishop and finally preparing to castle for Levon Aronian. Bishop retreats to g6, we have castle for Levon, and right now we have rook to e8, so black also develops his pieces. We have rook to a1, attacking this queen, queen retreats to d7, and right now we have rook f to e1, another developing move for white. Right now we have h6 as a prophylaxis move to have this, to give this king a breathing space. Also this bishop can be retreated on this square if it is attacked. We have rook a to d1, and right now we have knight to d6 played for black. c4 was played for Levon Aronian. Levon now wants to continue advancing his pawns with b4, so Tomaraju sees this and he plays a5. Game continued with rook to c1, right now protecting this pawn and also slowly preparing for this push. That is why we have knight to f5 offering the trade and also attacking this bishop here. Firstly, Levon plays a bishop to g4, right now this knight is pinned and we have h5 on the board. We have a knight picking up on f5, and right now firstly rook takes on e1 was played, and after rook takes on e1 we have bishop picking up on f5. Now in this position white had the option to pick up this pawn or to either trade, but Levon decided to pick up this pawn because he wanted to leave this bishop pair. We have b5 on the board. Right now black wants to stop this attack on the queen side. We have c picks up on b5, and right now queen takes on d5. So there is no longer dangerous passed pawns here. This bishop is attacked, and it looks like black is perfectly fine in this position. Now rook to e8 check. This comes with a price, of course, eliminating these passed pawns. King goes on h7, and right now we have a bishop to c3 defending this bishop. Right now in this position black decided to play queen picking up on b5. Now it is worth mentioning that after bishop to c3 there was this line with bishop takes on h3 with a discovered attack on this bishop, and after bishop retreats to f3 we have queen takes on g5 pressuring this, and after rook e5 we have queen to c1 check, and after rook to e1 there was maybe a possibility of a draw with a queen to g5, but after bishop to c3 a queen picks up on b5 was played for Domaraju Gukesh, and right now we have bishop picking up on f7 for Levon Aronian. Queen retreats to d7, right now attacks this bishop and also pressures this rook. Bishop to g8 was firstly played check, a king goes on h6, and right now we have a rook to e5 pressuring this bishop and also eyeing at this pawn here. a4 was played for Domaraju Gukesh, and we have a rook to d5 played for Levon Aronian attacking this queen. Now this queen is also has to protect this bishop, so queen to 8 was played as another option here, leaving this bishop but also attacking the opponent's bishop here. Rook takes on f5, queen takes on g8, and right now we have rook to c5 attacking this pawn. Queen defends it with d8, bishop e5, so now it is obvious that this cannot be protected. Queen to e7 was played, attacking this rook and this bishop. Firstly, Levon plays rook to c6 check, king goes on g5, and before claiming this pawn, white plays f4. King goes on f5, and right now we have a rook to c7. Finally, you can take this pawn. Queen goes on b4, trying to aim at this pawn, but it is very well defended, as you can see, and there is no chance for black to create a passed pawn here. A great knowledge of Levon Aronian of this position, and white, after picking up this pawn, is ready to start pushing his own pawns. Rook picks up on g7 was played for Levon. We have king to e4 for black, and right now we have king to h2. Queen retreats to e1, queen wants to try and infiltrate in this position, but rook to g3 stops that, and right now we have king to f5 played for black. White now continues to push his pawns. We have queen to e2 trying to infiltrate here on h5 and block these pawns, but firstly we have rook to g5, king goes on e4, and h5 was played for white, so Levon continues pushing his passed pawns. Queen goes on e1, again trying to give this check, but right now rook to g3 is played again to stop this. We have queen to d1 attacking this pawn, but right now you can simply push this pawn, there is no more need to defend it. And we have queen to d7, now queen retreats to cover these promotional squares. We have rook to h3 played for Levon, queen goes on h7 blocking this, and right now we have a rook to h4 for Levon. King goes on f5, we have bishop to g7, now completely locking this piece and also still protecting this pawn here. Very dire situation for black. King goes on e4, and finally white is getting ready to bring up his king into the game and start putting his last piece into use. King goes on f5, we have a rook to h5 check, king goes on g6, now we have king to g4, bringing king even closer. King goes on f7, and right now rook to f5 check. Now of course king has to go somewhere else. King on e6 is one of the best moves here, not many options, because after rook to f5, if king g8, then rook f8 is a checkmate. So king to e6, rook f6 check here, king goes on e7, and now we have f5 on the board, pushing your another passed pawn. King goes on g8, this queen is really stuck, so now pretty much the only option for black is to try and maybe get into some perpetual check, or maybe create some stalemate position after sacrificing this pawn, but it is very difficult right now to defend. King goes on g5, everything is protected, queen d5 here, king goes on g6, queen takes on g2, so Levon sacrifices this pawn check, king goes on h7, queen d5 here, rook f8, king goes on d7, and right now we have king to h8 played for Levon Aronian, getting ready to push his passed pawns. Queen goes on b3, still this pawn is protected, we have h7 on the board, queen goes on c4, f6, king goes on e6, and after king g8, this was on the move 68, where Domaraju Gukesh resigned this game because there is simply nothing you can do. White will simply promote his pawns. Yes, it looks like white has this really cool discovered attack, but this does nothing with this move. You simply push your pawn and you cannot stop promotion of this pawn. You don't have a passed pawn and it is game over here for Domaraju Gukesh. And this is how this game ended, and this is all I have prepared for you today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a comment, like and share this video with other people who enjoy chess. Also, if you want to improve in chess, you can definitely check the link in the description of this video. You have some valuable resources there, so if you're serious in improving chess, you have a platform that has everything in one place and you will not regret it if you check it. Also, if you do have some questions about the analysis, if I miss something as well, do let me know. I always enjoy reading your comments, and for everything else, I'm always here. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow with the next video. Bye bye.